Good evening and a warm welcome. You're watching CNN News 18. A very, very happy Dussehra to all of you. I'm Griha Siddiqui. Let's begin this broadcast with some breaking news that's come. Now, top sources are telling CNN News 18 that Pakistan Army Chief General Bajwa has told the U.S. government that Pakistan is ready to move forward on talks over Kashmir if India agrees to do so. United States officials have demanded transparency over China's CPEC projects, while Bajwa has also sought support from Washington for anti-terror operations in Afghanistan. Now remember, the Pakistan Army Chief General Javed Bajwa had called on the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin to discuss, the other issues which are of mutual interest and also regional security and bilateral cooperation in various fields. And there is where they had, in fact, mentioned that they are ready to go over and start the talks on Kashmir if India really agrees to go ahead and do that. Let me take this across to my guest who's joining me on the broadcast. Pathikrit Payne, who's a security analyst, is joining me. Thank you so much, Pathikrit, to be a part of this discussion. You know, how important is this statement by General Bajwa? And what does it really mean, considering it's the US that we are talking about? There is no dialogue with India at the moment.
Well, for quite some time, there has been this presumption that, India is required by United States to contain China in the Asia-Pacific region, which in certain contexts is right. But at the same time, I think there is a growing concern that because of India's independent foreign policy, because of India's assertive attitude, because of India being gradually getting its position in the world, its deserving position, I think there is also a growing concern that United States, perhaps at least a section of United States, is once again trying to contain India through the leverage they have in Pakistan. I mean, in the recent past, there are reports of the American ambassador having gone to POK and have called it, AJK, Azad Jammu Kashmir. The overtures with which General Bajwa has been welcomed in the United States. I mean, here is a country which is in the grey list of Financial Action Task Force. Here is a country which has been always talked about as a cradle of terrorism, a country which has almost become a vassal state and a satellite state of China. Suddenly, there is no other reason for United States to show these overtures to actually, do what they're doing with Pakistan in terms of giving them aid, putting all the efforts possible to take them out of the grey list. I think there's no other reason apart from actually try to pin India in certain way because perhaps India did not go to the American line when it came to the war between Russia and Ukraine, and because India did not actually blame Russia in the manner America would have wanted India to blame. So I think it's a very, very unfortunate development. Not that it would impact India much, but it actually shows the kind of attitude at least a section of the deep state of United States and at least a section of the U.S. administration has, that while on one hand they would actually, put the red carpet for India because the Indian economy is now the fifth largest economy. They will be very courteous towards the Indian administration because they would require India to contain China, because they want India to become the next manufacturing hub, because China is becoming a problem. But at the same time, they will keep on needling India through these things that they do in Pakistan, which are certainly not in India's interest. Especially, if you see the manner in which they gave the sustainment equipments for F-16 to Pakistan, about $450 million. A country which is bankrupt can't even pay for this. It's for sure that the Americans also paid the loan for it so that they can buy it. And all that they did is in the name of fighting terrorism. I mean, which terrorism would Pakistan fight with F-16 now that the war on so-called terror in Afghanistan is over? And certainly, United States are not expecting Pakistan to use it on Hizbul Mujahideen or Lashkar-e-Taiba or Jaish-e-Mohammed. So that's the reason I think the Indian ambassador, foreign affairs minister made it very clear and told Americans that you're not fooling anybody by doing these things. So if you look at what General Bajwa is right now doing, it actually vindicates perhaps that the reason they wanted Shahbaz Sharif to come into power and that this regime to come to power is because the Americans perhaps in certain way has a scheme of things in mind, which we have started working on to make sure that India in certain way can be cornered if and because
right,
India has
absolutely.
not
But
moved
thank you so
line.
much. In fact, that pretty much sums the fact as to why is the United States of America really warming up to Pakistan. This visit, remember, is right after the F-16 deal, and this one is a crucial development when it comes to Pakistan vis-a-vis the United States of America. We leave it at that. Let's now shift